Manchildren.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Manchildren.
Good to see you guys again.
Episode 9, right?
Episode 9, following up with episode 9. We're almost to 10, double digits.
And it's only taken us
it's only taken
a
us
year and
5 years, I think, to get out these first 8 of them. Yeah.
But we definitely have a special guest.
Again, Mama's back.
Look at that.
Yeah. Mama in our awesome studio space here again. We're not recording again, thanks to Mia. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. What I wanted to really jump into today was we've been talking about it behind closed doors, but
we don't let anybody know we talk about stuff.
No one. But what I wanted to talk about was Marvel and the state of it, the new movies that are coming out, and
the hype trailers during the Super Bowl.
Would you even consider those hype trailers?
No, because here's the thing. I wasn't watching the Super Bowl when it happened, so I was just on YouTube all day. So periodically, the full ones start popping up.
So for anyone that didn't watch the Super Bowl, what they did was...
Spoiler alert, the Chiefs won.
I'm like, what the heck?
Somebody's like, what the hell? I was going to rewatch it.
But what they did was they didn't do actual movie trailers.
No,
they did like 5-second teaser, and then it was like, go to YouTube.
Oh,
and I was like, I hated it.
Yeah.
Because that took out the whole... A good portion of
the momentum.
fans, want to watch it watch it at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go to YouTube. I was like, this is stupid, and I was so bummed out.
Yeah. Let's say, luckily for me, I wasn't watching the game, so I'm constantly watching YouTube. YouTube is my television station.
Oh, really?
That's all I watch.
Platform?
Yeah. I don't like Netflix, all that stuff. I'll watch those if something comes about, like a movie premieres coming up. Yeah. But all day I'm just on YouTube. I'm
gonna be honest. Like, YouTube is now like probably the lowest on the totem pole.
Oh yeah,
and like we're here.
Well, here's the thing. But are you a YouTube watcher with commercials?
No.
Once you go premium,
YouTube ended for me like a year ago.
Yeah,
it's
you
Instagram.
Don't seek knowledge, Michael.
No, I think the best one. I hate to admit this, but TikTok for me. It's so quick. Ugh. And it's just like
the worst.
Well, how is that? You've never.
I don't know what it is.
You've never had it.
It's more. It's more revved up than I can barely handle Instagram
for something that you haven't.
I can barely handle Instagram. I don't know because I like curating my own watching experience, and it just seems too algorithmic.
I know what it is with you.
How do you say it? Algorithmic?
He's trying to like make this big excuse for you just don't want them to steal your information.
No, I don't really care about that because every other but I know it's very big because it is a China-based company or whatever. But everything has our information. Facebook has our information. Everything has our information.
Like, have you gotten Lionel yet?
You know how many times I've like signed into something because I want a coupon for something, and I'm like, I changed my mind, but they already have my information.
That's like with every website. It's
that's what.
Can we steal your data?
What do I have to hide? What are they going to take from me?
They just need to change it. Like,
what are they going to take from me? The $5 in my bank account once in a blue moon? Yeah. But they're after me. But like I said, I'm there all day. I'm constantly refreshing for a new video. I watch all my podcast clips on there, like Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, and all that kind of stuff on there.
You saw like the new Marvel
every time I
trailers
refresh when I'm watching a video, new trailer.
Yeah. So you saw all the Marvel trailers.
Yeah, I saw all the Marvel trailers. And the only one that really stuck out to me that I'm excited for, that I think could change the trajectory of the Marvel world, because it's all in the shitter. Like the Marvels, the most recent one, I guess they came out. I haven't even watched that yet.
Marvels,
and it's free, and I can easily watch it.
It's
I
on
have
Disney. It looks
we have
horrible.
Disney Plus. We all have an account that we all use. It looks terrible. I know it's going to be terrible. I didn't like the first one, so I'm not going to like this one. I know that, because they're going too much off of. Remember, like all these movies built up into one awesome movie. Now it just seems like they're building off the television shows, which already don't have a lot of stuff going on.
I think they burned a lot of people out.
It did for sure.
It was just so much so quickly, and then I think a lot of it too,
and a lot of side characters. Like, we want the big guys. We want the big characters.
Yeah.
The Avengers ones.
But I'm going to be honest with you.
They're like, Spider-Man's bodega owner, like a show about him.
What really tanked it, I think, is what happened outside of the universe with the actor, with Jonathan Majors.
Oh, yeah. That did put a lull into it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, for people that don't really know about Marvel, this whole next phase was for... The first phase was Thanos. This next phase was going to be Kang the Conqueror, and the actor that plays Kang the Conqueror is Jonathan Majors, which honestly I thought he was such a great actor, and like I really had high hopes. And then
he's a great actor, but the Kang was kind of weak.
Oh yeah, that
because
too.
he just got beat by he got beat by Ant-Man, like nothing.
And then what happened outside is he was first accused of I don't know if we can say this. what do they call it? Because you got to say SA and everything.
Yeah, it's just assault, just some type of assault and being kind of aggressive with women that he dated and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
and they had like video footage of it.
Yeah.
And then he got found guilty for it.
Yeah.
And
the whole time it's like, will he stay in the MCU? Will he not? Depending on his verdict and stuff.
Yeah, but at this point, being found guilty at Disney with anyone, and I totally understand, as a business move would be horrible.
Yeah. But what do you think went wrong with Marvel? Like from, let's say, what would you say is the last great Marvel movie? What would you say is the last great Marvel movie? You think it'd be like the Endgame?
Yeah.
Like probably, right?
I didn't even, none of the shows popped out to me.
The only good show was like Daredevil season 1 and 2 to me. Like,
but that wasn't Marvel. That was Netflix.
Netflix, yeah, it was. Yeah.
So I think Disney, and I hate to say this because I love Disney, but I think Disney's like grip on it is really changing everything. Yeah. And I also, the outside things, the whole Jonathan Majors,
I think that's
him being found guilty and I
think that affects Disney 100%. More than anything. It's the social trying to please the social crowd. They're trying to please
and then now you have to
person.
Even if you have to like recast him, that character in itself to me is Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
But I think, and you're gonna disagree with me on this, but I think Deadpool is not gonna help it. I think they're going to try to water it down so much, and I like the fact that they're bringing in.
It has the rated R aspect on it, which might help it a little bit. I think.
I watched what was it, Echo, and there was blood and everything, but it was weird. It was a weird like sense of like there's a splatter of blood when I hit you, but it doesn't show the actual like.
Oh yeah, they do that all the time. Yeah, it's after the fact. Yeah.
But what was I gonna tell you? I don't think the Wolverine aspect is going to really help it.
Yeah, to me, it helps only because it's buzzworthy because it's Hugh Jackman. But I was ready for Hugh Jackman just to be like, wipe his hands of it, give us a new X-Men, give us all new people, a whole new squad, like reboot it. I want Marvel to be rebooted, especially with this whole time and multiverse stuff. They can easily have an excuse for it just wiping clean and going brand new again. Yeah. But I think with Deadpool, I think it will help out a lot because, Ryan Reynolds is a charming guy, and that character, I don't think you can water him down too much. Yeah. Why make the movie if you're going to water him down? Because he's a fourth wall breaker. He cusses. He's super violent, chopping heads off. And you're bringing Wolverine, and you're guaranteeing us the last Wolverine we know is Logan. You can't go back to an X-Men first movie like you said, slicing and blood off screen.
Logan was a part of Sony, correct?
No, it's Fox.
Fox.
Yeah, Fox.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So it was somewhat a standalone, like a Joker movie, like the Joker. Like it kind of stood on its own. But I think now that they're willing to grab multiple things from Sony and everything, I think it can be saved with those two kicking it off. I hope that Wolverine wipes his hand at the end of this. Like something goes where Hugh Jackman's no longer going to be in it, and they introduce somebody who's going to be the new Wolverine.
I think at this point it's just sales. Because
for sure,
the whole
I want the TVA
Madam
thing to be
Web
gone.
And all that being like, we're part of Marvel. And it's like, that was
that movie was a fucking mess. I know about that. I watched like clips online and everything. Yeah. There's a boom mic in one of the scenes and stuff. Like they really did.
Like Starbucks.
A lot of things too. A lot of these movies that we're getting, we're not getting the best of the best because I think a lot of these movie companies have to make a movie, otherwise they lose the ability to make the rights. Yeah. I think you have to make a certain stuff. So they literally are just like throw in. They're doing the thing where they're cheating us, like showing us the cool costumes in the commercial and stuff. And that scene where they're actually all in their spider getup is only like 3 minutes or 5 minutes at the very beginning of the movie, and they never show it until the very end again.
So again, commercials to me are like garbage at this point because every like studio too shows you the beginning, the middle, and the end, and it's like you just show me the villain being killed in the trailer.
This is where we will differ because I think I've talked this about Mia before and everything. I love to consume everything about the movie before I see it.
Oh, that's horrible.
As a kid, when I grew up, I had VCR players. People don't know what VCR players are. But before there was DVR and instant access or streaming, I would literally go and watch Hollywood, the television channel, had behind the scenes. So every Saturday and stuff, they would show a movie and the film behind the scenes, and I would record everything that I saw, like what they were doing, the little clips, every Johnny Carson or Jay Leno interview. Like, here's a clip from the movie. I would watch that person, like Hugh Jackman or whatever, and Marvel. I would have recorded because every single one would show a different scene, and I would compile the movie. So when I'm watching the movie, I'd be like, "Oh, watch this part," and they're like, "How do you know this part? Like, what the fuck?"
I'm gonna say that's horrible, but Rosa would call me out
Yeah.
right now because I'm the type of person where I will
No,
Google.
Yeah, you do
I'm
too.
like, what
Yeah,
are
you
the-
and I
what's
talked
the
about it.
end?
Yeah,
But not because
you
we
and
have
I have a
different
cool
reasons,
relationship
though.
where we can ruin movie. Like,
But we have different
Yeah.
reasons though.
Yeah.
You want to consume it.
I want to consume it. Yeah.
I think mine's just anxiety.
You
I
know-
need to know how it ends.
Oh, yeah.
I need to know if they fall in love
Yeah.
or if this guy's gonna die or
Yeah.
like to me it's
You
just
and I
like,
always
then
break-
it like puts me at ease.
You and I always approach each other like, oh, the movie, and I go, do you want me? And you're like, no, just tell me because I'm not going to watch it because you just want to know. And I'm like, yeah, just tell me. I just always want to know what's going on because when I watch movies, I watch it a different way than I did when I was younger. And Mia has known me for a long time since I was still considered like, I guess like a young kid, kind of early 20s. And I was just all about action. I could not watch a serious movie to save my fucking life. It was action, action, action. If some Asian guy wasn't getting kicked through a wall and like exploding or something, like I wasn't watching the movie.
You were so when we first met, like 15, 16 years ago, this guy would sit, grown ass man with a what was it, a broomstick and would like twirl it around and be like, I can take on a zombie army.
You guys were betting me that like we're saying that what would you take in a zombie apocalypse? What weapon? And I was like, I would take like 2 diamond-edged laser sharpened swords.
He would die the first 10 minutes.
And then we have a video of. I wish I can't find it. I was trying to
survive.
show it to somebody the other day.
Jesus.
And Danny Payne, our friend, was recording us, and I think I'd take a lot more zombies because I'm like bullets run out.
Not at
but
all.
these guns don't.
You would gas out.
I'd
after
probably
like
gas out. Yeah,
an
there was
hour.
a horde of them. But back to like the movies thing, I just loved consuming and consuming and consuming. And the way I watch it, I'm not a fun person to always watch movies around because I pick everything out that's wrong in the movie at that time, like a wire or a microphone or whatever, because I like to know the story ahead of time so I can just pay attention to how the movie's being made.
I think you've gotten better because now like we've gone to a few movies
Yeah.
together and you won't say anything during the movie.
But I'm like,
that would
I'm keeping it in.
that would ruin it for me.
Especially I'm next
But-
to Rosa. I don't want to ruin her time.
Yeah. Fuck.
I love going to movies with somebody I could talk. We've got me, Mia, our friend Mark. We used to do almost like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of thing. Watch movies and talk during movies and stuff like that.
Okay.
I love to go. Like I've been on a few dates back in the past. I remember there's like a girl like who talks during the movie and stuff. Of course, not when everybody's there and everything. But you know, you go to those movies once in a while and there's nobody in the theater where you're kind of making fun of the movie the entire time. Like I think I would love to see Madam Web if it was with all of us going to watch
do that.
to make fun of it.
I can't
nobody,
do that.
like a showing where nobody's there.
When
you know?
there's a movie on, you have to be quiet. Like with me, that's my viewing. Even if like
Actually, you can't hear anything. Like,
no,
I can turn it up.
I don't want to be distracted.
Yeah.
I don't want to be distracted.
Yeah, like, are you a subtitle person? I hate people who watch movies with subtitles.
What are
when
you
you don't
talking
have to
about?
like reading along with it. No, you got to experience the movie.
Well, that's just in general.
Yeah.
You hate reading.
Yeah,
you don't
I
like
hate
foreign
reading,
films.
Yeah. I love foreign films actually. Yeah.
You have to read the subtitles.
Yeah,
So
one of
your
my
whole
all-time favorite movies
basis
is
of
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Saw it 7 times in the theater, but the thing was,
So you read
by
the subtitles,
by
right?
the third one, I know how to. I spoke Mandarin.
Shut
like,
the fuck
here's the thing, because I read it so many times. Literally, I watched it 7 times in the theater. By the
we
4th
go.
time,
Here we
I
go.
didn't have to read them because I just knew what they were talking about, not word for
You see
word.
my eyes rolling in the back of my head.
But I
This
knew,
guy.
but through memorizing kind of what the situation was happening, I don't know word for word.
He watched the movie
but I knew
3
what was
times.
going on.
He speaks Mandarin.
Yeah.
Like shut up.
I was like, I just came out all. I was like, it's stuck in my head. But back to the movie stuff. I said when it comes to the movies, watching, consuming it, the hope that I have for Marvel though is I'm excited for the casting of one movie that they've showed. They dropped it during I think this is just a picture, like a retro picture of Fantastic Four.
I think
With
you
Pedro
showed me.
Pascal, yeah, and all the gang.
I don't. Oh man. You know.
Here's the thing.
I
You
want-
saw
I
that
want- I'll
picture.
take it back.
Do you
I'll take it
think
back.
they're going to go that era?
I hope not. I hope not.
Because I'm like, how are they going to mix it in with the modern era?
Yeah, I hope.
But with the time traveling and the whole stuff,
I think
they
they wrote themselves into corners.
Yeah.
When they didn't get all the rights for all the characters.
Yeah.
Now where are all these characters during
Yeah,
Endgame?
like, why they're not saving the day? Yeah.
the smartest man on earth.
Yeah.
So I want to jump when you had said the last really good movie. What's it called? The Doctor Strange
I hated that one.
With
That was garbage.
are you serious?
Yeah, it was garbage. Pure hot garbage.
Oh
yeah.
my god!
I thought this was terrible. The way it edited. You know what? I do like Sam Raimi, but the way he, I don't. You know, maybe I didn't like it because he didn't get to go full Sam Raimi. I'd want it to be him. It seemed like it had the blanket of kind of like Marvel executives, kind of holding it down, and he couldn't go full blast. When you watch something, his edits and stuff from Evil Dead on all the way up to like let's say the best superhero movie that he's done, and the only one, the Spider-Man 2. Like just the filming, the editing, the pacing. What?
Don't get me started on those.
Spider-Man 2. That's one of the best superhero movies of all time. It's the best Spider-Man movie to me in my book.
I'm
besides the cartoons.
Spider-Man number 2. I'm more of a what's his name?
Don't say Holland.
No, Holland's the worst.
So here, okay, if we want to rate Spider-Man, my favorite Spider-Man is Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I liked
it's
those.
Andrew Garfield.
I didn't like
then Tobey Maguire. Actually, Andrew Garfield, Jake Johnson. Then
who the hell is Jake? Oh, from
the cartoon.
Yeah,
I think to me it stands as a solid Spider-Man.
That Spider-Man
Peter
movie
B. Parker.
Great.
Yeah.
But the first ones.
You know what?
I didn't like them.
Yeah, no, you're not even not the very first one. I can't even stand
to watch the
fantastic villain, Willem Dafoe,
first X-Men.
Like, you know what? Yeah,
it's just hard to stomach.
It is hard to stomach, especially like just everything, the hairstyle, the costume. I remember as a kid,
I grew up on the Spider-Man cartoons, the comic books, and Green Goblin when he comes out in like a armored suit. Like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
Did you see the original test of the face?
No.
They had like an animatronic kind of mask on him with bubble eyeballs, and it moved with his mouth. And it was creepy as fuck. It was very Sam Raimi horror kind of movie. And I think if they went that way, I think you think that's what took you out of it?
Yeah. No,
it's like with X-Men with the black suits. Yeah. You wanted like the yellow, the blue suits, all that kind of stuff. That's what I want. I'm kind of,
man. We can definitely go down a rabbit hole with this because now what's popping up in my head is
like Watchmen. The
Nicolas
costumes
Cage.
in Watchmen. That's how it should be.
That was perfect.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Because that was the era.
Yeah,
that was like
accurate.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like that movie put me because how old was I? I think I was still in high school when that movie came out.
Yeah, it's probably
but
after I got out of high school. Yeah,
I never read the book. I never read the comic book.
Yeah.
And after watching that movie, I ran and got it because.
And you hate Zack Snyder.
Yeah, Zack Snyder. I love Zack Snyder. Yeah. Worst. But it touched on SA. It touched on like political
and like doing that Tarantino thing where flipping history, like where things that happen, they are actually involved with it and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I love the fact that there was like this moral like good and evil and Rorschach, like poor guy, like
he was the best
got
character
the
in the whole
shaft
thing. Yeah, he was
for the
best.
good of
for the
get
good
out of here.
That's how I think they need to go. Like when we're talking, if we jump back to like Marvel type of stuff, do you think there's anything they can do to save it? You think it's just a complete reboot, like in DC's case, where now it's DCU, like where James Gunn took over, where let's not bring anybody back. And I have love for certain aspects of the old DC world.
No, I think Marvel did it right. Mm-hmm. I think DC is. Hopefully James Gunn brings it together, and I have high hopes.
He's cramming a lot into that first Superman movie too. That's why I'm kind of worried.
Because
putting everything.
His last movies, fucking Suicide Squad was amazing.
Fantastic.
I'm blanking on Guardians. All of them.
The first F-bomb.
Exactly. But I think Marvel did it right.
Yeah.
The first time that slow burn. Now I think
he might be to blame for the turn of Marvel because.
They just started pumping them out, and I didn't like it.
But the comedy is fantastic in Marvel. That's what kind of separated from the DC being so dark and Snyderish. But I think it was good because the first movie, the Guardians of the Galaxy, was awesome, hilarious movie. Yeah. And then they kind of went full comedy, and then they started not taking themselves seriously. And then after not taking themselves seriously, they're like, okay, let's go too far political, and they start pushing certain things and stuff. So they literally lost.
Too far political?
I don't know. It just seems like. To me, it doesn't seem like it's just superheroes anymore. It has to I'm not a person, but I don't like represent. It doesn't sound bad. I don't like seeing the real world in my movies because that's why I watch movies, to escape.
But that's
because I can easily just watch the news.
That's what comic books were from the get go.
No, but you know what
X-Men.
But that's not what people went into this MCU world. That's not what they went into it for.
I did. I love
there was no political stuff in all the popular Thanos era. There was nothing political. It was just superheroes fighting each other.
What are you talking about?
Building up to an ultimate baddie.
A black Captain America? Like, what are you talking about?
But that's after. I'm saying after Endgame. After Endgame, it just went to going.
What I'm saying
we have to represent everything all the crazy stuff that's happening in real life, which sucks.
We're based on politics.
Yeah,
we're based on day-to-day struggles.
Yeah. But here's me as a kid, I didn't pay attention. I didn't care about this stuff. I just wanted the superheroes costumes fighting and stuff.
That's totally understandable.
And that's what the movies were. It's like Iron Man, so on. It was just like, let's see if we could connect all these cool superheroes doing cool shit to a big fight scene at the very end, and they did it. That's what crowds want to see. Because that's not picking a side with anything outside of political.
I think a lot of people, like, say a lot of the younger generation want to go see action and everything, but like, a lot of people do want to see.
But here's why I think Marvel's failing is because they are picking a side. Disney or something. They're picking a side, And they're okay. It's okay for somebody
Now
to
you're
pick a
making
side.
this. No, you
because-
just brought that up.
But that's what it is, Michael. That's what
that
it is.
That is not they're picking a side.
Yes,
what are you talking about?
It's everything they're putting in there has to represent something that's happening in real life, which it sucks that bad things happen in real life.
It's called inclusion. It's
No,
called
but
people having
I'm saying
identity.
it's inclusivity, inclusion is all good things, but that's why the movies aren't doing well, because it will at one time or another it's going to favor one side.
Disagree. I totally disagree.
A movie about superheroes should just be a generic kind of thing, like a Fast X or whatever, where it's just vomit on screen, like action, entertaining vomit on screen, and not trying to sway anybody towards anything outside of the movie.
Suicide Squad. Did you not like it from James Gunn?
Oh yeah, I did like.
You thought it was great.
Yeah, I thought I love the violence.
That's a female.
I'm not
lead.
saying female leads. Female leads
That's
are
representation.
fine. It's fine.
No, but you're saying that's the downfall to it.
But I believe these Marvel and stuff are pushing a lot of that stuff forward. It's fine to do it if they say you're going to do it.
Blanket,
but you're not. But you're
every
excluding.
industry.
But you're excluding somebody else.
Every industry.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why all these things are failing, because they're not playing down the middle for everybody.
I think we can both agree that we're going to disagree on this topic.
For sure. For sure. Because I just want my superheroes to do super shit.
And
put whoever you want into them. Like even when Nick Fury, like, the first time that happens, you're like, oh, people are like, oh, a black guy playing? No. Samuel Jackson's a fantastic actor. He makes that character cool. He made it cooler than it actually was, being this guy, just a white guy with white hair and a patch.
So you're agreeing then with me, because that's representation.
No, to me, that's the best person playing that role. But Marvel's not thinking like that.
100%.
Marvel's not thinking
that
like that.
That was a perfect decision on someone that's saying, I want to include
they're
an
like,
African American person cool? As
him. Let's make him, and we have a character, Nick Fury, because he's like this cool motherfucker type of guy. Like every role he was known for is like the cool guy who comes in. Nowadays, you're not seeing it maybe because you want it to be that way. I don't want it to be that way. I just want right down the middle superheroes dressed up in accurate costumes fighting other superheroes and villains.
La La Land you live in. Like that is
That's why I go to movies. I don't go to movies to see real life.
That's understandable.
Because I want to escape. When I'm watching movies, I'm zoned out. I'm like, this movie. And then they start bringing up anything political or even a president or anything similar. I'm like, I don't want to see that shit.
But isn't every action movie political? Like,
no.
There's one bad guy that's a terrorist and one good guy that's
but that's what it's always been. That's what it's always been. That's what it's always been growing up. And that's 80s. That was fed to us a certain way. That's just the way things were. But now I just want like a John Wick. Somebody kills his dog. He goes out and just starts killing generic, I guess, Eastern European bad guys or whatever, you know?
You're just helping my cause. Yeah. But again, we can definitely.
But they're not picking those villains for political reasons. They're not picking those for political reasons.
You see it that way. I see it different. But we can definitely.
And that's why I said a movie shouldn't be. I think it should. They have to find some way, and they had it before. Starting off with Iron Man, the way they were going. They were just fun superhero movies.
They were in Afghanistan or some type of Middle Eastern country.
They were fun, but they're basing it off what was happening in the comics and stuff like that. It's fine. Accurate costumes.
I get it.
Just shoot them up. Bad guy, good guy.
We both want to see different things.
Yeah,
and I don't want to see different.
Yeah, I don't want to see what's on the news. I don't want to see there. And I rarely pay attention to the news either way, but that's kind of why I stay out of it, because I'm like, all right, I don't want to see any of that shit.
To answer your question, do I think they'll come back? Yes, they're a major corporation that has Disney money.
Like come back new or come back the same way they were? You think it's probably impossible to get back to where they were?
No, I think it can, and I don't think they should reboot. I think they should just continue on through this mess. They hit a.
So you know it's a mess, yeah.
Well, yeah, because outside issues, incidents, and then them just like they pay people millions of dollars to like. For trends to figure them out. I think they'll get back on, just like DC. DC to me, Snyder era was garbage, and now they pull James Gunn, and I believe who's his other partner.
I don't know.
There's another.
Now he's in charge. It'd be nice if I knew who he was because he's in charge of DC or whatever.
But I think they're starting it off good. I can't really say because I've never seen his movie yet.
Yeah.
I've seen what he's done with Marvel,
stuff,
and I think it's great. Mm-hmm. I think I love the costumes. I love how he sticks to the source material. Like he doesn't really jump too far from there. But I think they might come back. Am I excited to see Deadpool? Not really. No.
I can't say I'm excited, but it's to me the
Disney's track record with Star Wars. Mandalorian's the only thing that comes out.
What kind of makes me feel good about it is it's still coming from. It's Disney's track record is bad lately, but the fact is it already has a fan base before when it was Fox, and it did well. So I think it has the money of Marvel behind it now, which even those movies seem like they're pretty big budget. Both Deadpool movies before.
Yeah.
The first one was kind of low budget. Second one being a little pumped up. It'll definitely have the budget now, but I am tired of the TVA thing. The whole multiverse and stuff and everything like that. It works perfectly for a Deadpool character who's breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Marvel or Disney in general is kind of understands all the things that they messed up, and that scene where he's like, pegging, when the guys are pegging, like hopefully he makes fun of Marvel.
Yeah.
Like they're self-aware because there's no improv in this movie. Did you know that?
No.
So I guess due the writer strike and stuff like that, they want to make sure the writers get their dues and what they write is what's said on paper or on screen. So there's like no improv allowed on scripts now and a lot of stuff. So I'm like, wow, Deadpool seems like it relies heavily, multiple comedy movies rely heavily on improv. Yeah. So now he's following the lines, but I think Sean Levy and I think Ryan Reynolds actually had something to do with writing it. So hopefully it's his words coming out because already the jokes that we've seen on screen are pretty funny.
Yeah.
They seem like the stuff where he pees his pants. He's like, you sold yourself when you were unconscious. He's like, I wasn't unconscious. And, that kind of thing. I was like, that seems like something that is total Ryan Reynolds Deadpool. But yeah, there's no improv. So that kind of scares me where it's like, if they're following what was on paper, and what if on paper wasn't that good? That's the benefit of improv where they can change it on the spot. Like, that didn't work. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So whatever is on screen.
That kind of makes me nervous.
Yeah, whatever's on screen is like a printed thing. Like, this is what it's supposed to be from the beginning.
Makes me nervous.
Yeah, it does. It makes me kind of nervous.
Because then you take that you had brought it up. A movie had just had it. With the piano star. You said that they filmed like an actual party and they didn't drown out
Maestro.
Yeah. So to me, like when they ad lib or they just like off the cuff, to me it's like okay, like it feels normal.
Yeah, especially that scene. That was the whole point of it was recording that audio like that, so you really feel like you're at the party and you're eavesdropping just on their conversation in the middle.
Yeah.
But I think this one for action wise, and that's why I'm going in for it. I love the action. I love the violence.
Yeah.
I'm like, hopefully I can get enough of that out of there and the jokes. So if it's comedy and it's got gore in it, I'm sold. Who knows? I'm really excited to see what maybe X-Men can save Marvel because X-Men is probably the best one. Like I think out of all of them, Avengers. Be honest with you, I never cared about the Avengers. I did like as a kid Iron Man, and I was more of a War Machine fan.
But do you think this enters like the full cast of X-Men, or is this?
So I think it's going to trickle in.
This
for
is
sure.
a great segue.
I was thinking, you think X-Men will be kind of shown, and then they'll go back and retroactively show the origins of all of them after or something?
See,
or we'll get them little
that's
by
where
little.
I'm kind of like, it's tricky because it's like, do you keep them in the past? Do you keep them? Are they like?
Because 90s X-Men would be so like the cartoon.
Yeah.
Are you excited about that? Let's just
so
talk about X-Men.
I kind of wanted to segue into that and like kind of like end the podcast on that note. Are you excited for the new? It's not even a reboot because it's a
continuation. It's a continuation. The thing that kind of throws me off is the animation. I'd kind of wish that it still looked as dated as it did.
It kind of like I think
the lines are a little sharper. It's a little more colorful,
but it's not as good as it can be.
No, it's not as good. It still looks kind of like. You know how American animation in the 90s looked completely different than Japanese animation, and now America has adopted almost Japanese animation. We have kind of like similar things in it. But I love the old. I was obsessed with the old one. This one, you know,
what was that? It came out the 90s or
it was like 93, I think.
Yeah,
I believe. Well, I think 1993 or 92. I think that's when it came out.
I've literally started watching it over because when I
wanna. The voice casting, the story. It
was amazing.
It was similar to Batman, the animated series, where it's like darker storyline and stuff like that.
Spider-Man, that was the same. I don't know if Spider-Man was after X-Men.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
It was the same animation. It was the same type of like.
Yeah, it felt like you could tell it was an American cartoon. There was something about it. It just felt like an American cartoon. Great. Yeah. I'm trying to remember, where did they leave off on X-Men? They're gonna have a recap for sure. They're gonna have some type of recap.
I think the preview
Xavier dies.
Yeah. That's why I don't remember. I know I saw the last.
Well, not a Marvel now. He can come back to life. TVA can come in and bring him back or whatever. And Mr. Sinister, I think, was the main bad guy near the end.
Yep. So,
but I was excited. The whole scene, like Wolverine running up and Gambit's charging him up. And his claws are all glowing.
That was cool, but his voice is weird. Is it the same voice?
I don't know if it's the same guy who played Wolverine. We'd have to look that up as well.
It doesn't sound like him at all.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like him. It's not as Rookie. Hey, bub. That's the original. Like, hey, bub. Hey, Rookie. Like that's the guy you want. And he's like, hey, Rookie. You know, like not as
like,
tough.
who is this guy?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Stephen Bloom, I think the guy. You know, he sounds. If they got the guy who did Spike from Cowboy Bebop, He's done a Wolverine before. So I think if they got that voice actor and him to do it, I think it'd be better. We'd have to look it up. I don't know enough I didn't care about voice actors back then when I was a kid. You were like, Wolverine, you just thought that was his voice. That was a person.
Magical.
Yeah, Rookie and Bub, I think, was the best one. But I'm excited to see it. You know what? Lately, I've been really too into cartoons for some reason. I remember, like Invincible. You watch that show?
Yeah.
Have you watched the newest season?
No,
I have not watched the newest season either. I kind of lost interest in it, maybe because I knew nothing about Invincible before it came onto the cartoon aspect of it. I didn't know anything about it. The same thing when it comes to The Boys. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't even watch the latest season of The Boys.
No, same.
And
here.
I usually I like violence and gore, but to me, there's something about it that just didn't really.
I've been more so anime and then just a few TV shows here and there. I've actually jumped back into reading, but
what?
I read?
I haven't done that before. I'm like, Michael, can you read this for me? I can't get into. I always wanted to get in a book. I could never do it. Here's the thing. I don't know. I've never been to a doctor, but I know I'm dyslexic. I've never got it done, but literally, what is dyslexia?
I'm not laughing at that.
No, yeah, dyslexia is like sometimes I see the words backwards, or I write the last letter first, and I fuck my comprehension of things is really tough. I'm good.
Would you go to the doctor though?
I'm good. I kind of want to know like if I have ADD or ADHD or something like that, But also, I feel they overprescribe a lot too. Like when you're kids, during the time, not when we were kids, but it seemed like after we were kind of in our 20s, a kid was kind of energetic, like, oh, he has ADD, give him Ritalin, kind of thing. Yeah. So at that time, I thought my mom would put me on drugs if I went, ADD, like I never want to do drugs or take my mind off of it. But the way I can never read a book, and there's been books I want to like Heat 2, Michael Mann has a sequel to the Heat movie. He wrote a book.
I didn't know that.
And I believe it's like a prequel and a sequel kind of thing. And I was like, oh, it'd be so cool to read. I guess I can always get an audio book.
Yeah.
I've heard one thing that'll help you that possibly concentrate. I saw it on an Instagram. Is I do like soundtracks. I don't listen to them. I know Mia's a big fan of soundtracks and could put them on. They said pick a soundtrack that you think the vibe would be similar to the book you're reading and just have it on while you're reading, and it'll help you pay attention or draw you more into the story. Okay. So I recommend maybe if you're finding a book that you're having a little trouble getting through, put on a soundtrack.
I've always been good about I can be in the noisiest part of town and
what's the book you're reading right now?
Normal People. Normal People?
What is that about? It's not
Rooney.
the same. It's not the same.
It's same as the TV show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
The TV show is
but
based
more
off of the book.
in depth and everything.
Yeah. I'm.
Is it a series?
No. It's a standalone.
Okay.
What's her name? Her last name's Rooney. Oh, it's gonna kill me. But I should have read the book beforehand. But I think the TV show is amazing.
Yeah,
I think it's flawless. The two actors,
a representation of like actual relationships.
Yes,
and stuff,
across like
butterflies and stomach feeling, all that stuff. They nailed that
across like different timeline, different time periods, and then
how far into the book are you? Is it very similar?
I'm
it's a good
halfway.
Representation.
Yes, it's good, and some of the details are really, really great. But
or does the show take liberties?
I'm now noticing different details. So like in the show, it's based in Ireland, and so during like the early 2000s, they would go to a bar and it was like techno music playing, and in the book it was like Usher playing or like Little John, and I'm like,
wow, yeah, that kind of
throws
you off.
I was like, wait a minute,
yeah.
I'm like, what is
How
this?
you doing, Wes? You looking good? Yeah,
but it's literally like I'm watching the TV show. The TV show played it close to the source material.
I've never been interested. I know a lot of people have done that. Like, when Jurassic Park came out, Michael Crichton or whatever, that was the book he wrote. Mm-hmm. But we saw the movie first, and then people are going back, the book's better. I can't ever see a book being better than like the top of the line movies. Yeah. Like people are like, the book's better. There's no way the book Jurassic Park is better than the fucking Steven Spielberg
King?
movie. I don't know. Well, it's better than the originals for sure.
It's hard. I can't.
Maybe Stephen King books, because he's been very vocal about the fact that he just like, what's the most popular Stephen King adaptation?
Oh, The Shining.
The Shining. Yeah. He hated that, I guess. And you watch that movie and it's like a masterpiece. Stanley Kubrick like nails it, but I never read the book. But
it was garbage. Like I read the book and it doesn't. Yeah. It like
you might be like thumbs up, thumbs down. Have you read the book? No. Okay.
It chops it up.
Yeah.
It's like I think a lot of people have seen
Stanley Kubrick. It's like whatever character is in that book, Johnny or whatever.
Cursed them.
Jack or whatever. Like I can't see anybody presenting that character better than Jack Nicholson.
You should read the book.
I can't.
That should be.
Well, there's
first.
actual soundtrack. Maybe if I put the soundtrack, read the book and put the soundtrack to The Shining,
and then come
on.
back and tell us if you think
how long.
That would be
how
great.
long is a read? Do you know how big is that book?
Oh, the book is like
because if there's downtime in a book, and here's the thing.
But you're not going to read it though. It's an audiobook, so you can
that's
listen
true,
to that to work. Back.
I think I would need to find one that has good voice acting and stuff like that. I don't want just some boring guy. I need somebody who's acting up all the roles and stuff like that.
Try it out. See what versions there are.
But to me, then I'd be like, I'll just go watch the movie again because I feel like I'm listening. Yeah, I don't like watching I don't like listening to podcasts. Please, if we put this up on listen to our podcast. But I hate listening to podcasts. I love watching podcasts.
And I honestly, and you should definitely come back and let us know. But I think this is a perfect point to kind of wrap it up.
Yeah, reading
You
sucks.
talking about reading. It's
Reading's
never
for
going to
nerds.
happen.
Watch us. Visual
We
media.
got to that point of the podcast where
and
we're like,
Michael's
well,
a guy. Michael's a guy who likes looking at himself in the camera. So, I'm all about visuals more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll wrap it up here. This is a strictly pop culture one.
Yeah.
But again, shorter, more condensed.
Well, no, we jumped into some pretty
other
gnarly
stuff.
topics.
Oh yeah, we did.
But
hey, hopefully you guys enjoy it. The next one will be 10. We'll be up to big 10. Yeah,
double digits.
So we'll be coming back shortly. Hopefully, again on a more regular basis. A little crazy stuff, but we're gonna cut it here. We're gonna end it from me, Michael, Mia, and Mama.
See you guys.
That's all
later.
M's. All right, we'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.